Hello, good afternoon. My name is Bertrand Go. Today we're going to be talking on application of security principles in a remote working environment. For our agenda, we're going to describe the eight security flaws in remote working. We're also going to talk on how to connect the security lapses to cybersecurity fundamentals. We're also going to describe the precise design principles that were broken while working remotely, and also about remote working employees as well. And then we're going to run over the summary. Remote working and its consequences. Working from home can be advantageous for work-life balance, flexibility, also, and the elimination of commute. It means workers no longer commute to work, so you don't have that instances of traffic and things like that. So, we know remote work started around or became very essential around 2021 when COVID became heavy. So about 70% of companies actually went remote. It means so they're having more of remote work than the in office, and this continues so now. Now, how does remote work impact cybersecurity? For a number of reasons, according to various security experts, working remotely might increase the danger of data breach and other cybersecurity assault. Working remotely, especially on a large scale, greatly expands the area that might be attacked and it has to be secure. Remote work increases the possible attack surface while simultaneously displaying it outside of the usual perimeter defenses that companies have set up in the past years. So that is why it is making it more difficult to handle or to secure the environment when you're working remotely. But most companies they're trying to come out to speed after the 2021 incident or pandemic. Cybersecurity risks and failure of remote work. We have one. We have unsecure home network connections. So many of the employees actually connect to any kind of network, and sometimes since if they are not within the office, they're not within the environment. So it is hard. It is very difficult to monitor how your employees are connecting to their internet, and some of those internet routers and things they are not secured, and some of them don't get updated, so it exposes the network to malware and things like that. So we have another on the second point. We have more use of online tools. Most most businesses now are very vulnerable to cyber danger as they depend on technologies and internet resources. So, and we have, for instance, most of the communications now or the meetings now held through Zoom, Teams, Hangout. So there is that danger of there is that possibility of breach of data or communication, and this exposes the environment to being hacked. We have employee can't spot scams. Unfortunately, employees themselves provide one of the most frequent security hazards associated with remote work. Employees could unwittingly provide hackers access to the corporate information, to the corporate network or their devices without even being aware of. So, so the employee should be educated and things like that on how to manage situations like that. Number four, staff loss side of security concern. So even if the business has invested time in educating and training the staff on the dangers of cybersecurity, there is that possibility that they will actually reject or even ignore these words when working from home, and so thereby the hackers taking advantage of that. We have weak password. Despite having firewalls, VPN, and other security measures in place, weak password can also greatly is always greatly affects cybersecurity danger. So it means you have to develop a policy and also monitor how password rotations and password implementation are done within your infrastructure. There should be a policy and standard and should be monitored and followed to make sure it is being implemented. We have phishing and ransomware. Phishing and ransomware are two most significant risks that remote employees has to deal with when they're working from home. So they should be educated on how to identify phishing and ransomware emails, how to update their frequently update their computers when necessary, and things like that. Cybersecurity risks and some of them continues. For number seven, we have unencrypted file sharing. We have companies might thought to encrypt files kept on their network, but they may actually forgot encrypting them. Actually, forgot educating their employees on sending out PII data or uh, data that shouldn't be, or data just sharing data over the internet should be encrypted because attacker can actually, or man in the middle can actually break that particular thread and have access to that data. So it should be encrypted, and they should know how to share encrypted password and not within the same email. We have personal devices. Some of your workers or some of the employees may have actually begun utilizing their personal gadget for work. And when everyone started working from home after outbreak, one of the biggest problem this poses is the absence of the IT security infrastructure, whether it is for the computer, printer, tablet, or mobile phone. So this became a very big problem of attacker taking advantage of this, since workers now use their personal devices, so they can get missing, and there's gonna be data breach at that level. We have unsecured and vulnerable hardware. According to Glenn Lake, Associate Director of Cybersecurity Incident Response at Adversary, that this has also become a very big problem, and so should be handled digitally. Remote work security. So now we're going to talk on the remote work security risks for companies. So we have email scamming, email scams. So you have to train your workers. The largest danger of the security of your network might actually come from your remote workers. Employee may unwittingly be allowing threat actors access their network and the confidential data of the firm by unknowingly sharing emails, responding to fake emails and things like that. So there should be some training on how to identify fake scams, email, or phishing. The second one is phishing. In order to, we have to put in place how to identify phishing emails and how to respond to or follow up as far on an email that has a suspect phishing and things like that. We have security control are also weaker. Unlike when everybody was working from home, from office, working from home now has actually made the security controls very weakened. More than only, not only relaxing the firewalls, guiding, and all of that, but because people need to access the network from far and near, it makes it very difficult to design a secure control policy that will govern the infrastructure. Number four, we have a cyber attack on remote working infrastructure. We also have to sign up for new infrastructure. Sign up of new infrastructure will result in a new hazard, in addition to deterioration of current controls and all of that. Yeah. I'm also gonna provide a slide at the end of this, so you can go through it and just see what it says. However, it is most however, it is not likely unexpected to. These are some of the remote work policies. Secure work, continue. We have yeah, what is the CIA threat of cybersecurity? You can read on this. And also if you watch my previous videos, you're also gonna see I talk about the CIA and how it is to manage the CIA. Best practices to avoid security risks while working from home. We're going to talk about multi-factor authentication, password manager, all of that, and firewalls. So thank you.